Choice-based credit system, CBCS, is adopted by most of the top universities, reputed universities, where the teaching learning process is modern and the student learning outcome is brilliant. The performance of students in terms of knowledge, skill set, and values is extremely well in the choice-based credit system. As its name suggests, choice-based. The students, the learners are given choice of choosing their courses, choosing their subjects of their interest. And of course, each course which is chosen, which is opted by the student, gets certain number of credits. So this is a very important system called as choice-based credit system that empowers the learners, that empowers the students, and therefore it is a learner-centric. It is student-centric. So the choice-based system, why it is choice-based? Multiple choices of programs and courses. The students, the learners get a number of choices of different subjects, different courses, and even after certain duration, the student can opt for or a student can change the program as well. That flexibility is given in the system called as multiple choices of programs and courses. We know that especially in Indian context, courses are subjects and programs are different programs offered at UG, PG and doctoral level like Master of Science, Computer Science, Master of Engineering, Computer Science, Bachelor of Technology, Computer Science, Bachelor of Arts, Economics, and so on. These are the programs. Under each program, there will be number of courses. Then comes semester, the clear-cut identification of duration of teacher-learner engagement is defined in the system. Say in a particular semester, the number of teaching weeks will be 15 to 16 weeks. Generally, in most of the good universities, the semester length for teaching learning for a particular program is 15 to 16 weeks. So that is also a clear-cut identification of a duration where the program will be imparted. The teaching learning processes will happen. Then comes continuous and comprehensive evaluation in terms of classroom attendance, midterm test, and assignment. What is very important is continuous assessment. Means the summative assessment, which was generally adopted in most of the universities at the end of semester or at the end of year, that does not work, especially in terms of student learning outcomes. So what is important at regular interval, maybe after every 15 days, 2 weeks, or even 1 week, there must be some component related to assignment, midterm, end term, quizzes, projects, seminars, presentations, and so on. There may be a number of components where students can be assessed. So this needs to be comprehensive. This needs to be continuous. This needs to be at regular interval, what we call as formative assessment. So formative assessment becomes very easy and simple to implement in CBCS system. So assessment flexibility, assessment gives better learning outcome, better learning impact in this particular scheme. Then comes credit. Credit is in fact, these are the elements of CBCS system: choice-based, semester, assessment, credit, and grading. So credit, it gives weightage in terms of number of instructions per week. For example, generally one credit is counted as, say if it is a 3 credit course, so there will be three number of lecture hours every week and followed by a tutorial. If it is a lab hours, so 1 credit equals to 2 hours of lab work. So if it is 3 credits, so 6 hours of lab work. And of course, there will be students involvement beyond the lab or the classroom experience. So there is a mechanism in which we calculate the credit. It means whatever number of hours student spends in teaching learning, either in the class or laboratory or outside the class, it has a weightage. It doesn't go waste. He gets or she gets weightage or credit for every component, for every involvement where the student engages either in class laboratory or outside the class. Then comes the important element of CBCS system called as grading. The transformation of actual marks secured by students in terms of later grades. Generally, in most of the top universities, world class universities, reputed universities where students are doing wonders, there the grading scheme is adopted in CBCS. Percentage of marks is generally discouraged. In the grading scheme, there will be later grades. Highest performing students will get probably A grade or O grade, and then comes A minus, B plus, B minus, C plus, C, and C minus, D, and lastly F grade. So depending on the range of the percentage of marks or range of performing students from certain value to certain value, certain score to certain score will get certain number of grades. So grades also allow more and more number of students to perform well, because if you fix the percentage level on a particular percentage level, you can say that this student is only coming in top 5. But in grade, say A grade is the topmost grade. In the grading system, A grade might be secured by more number of students. So grading scheme provides more encouragement, more motivation, more learner environment involvement, and therefore it is more learner centric. So what is CBCS and why CBCS? As we know that Sustainable Development Goal, is the SDG 4 is one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of UN Sustainable Development Goals. This advocates about quality education and quality research that has to be imparted, that has to be affordable, that has to be accessible by all, especially in disadvantaged section. So, and in that direction, in that context, India has its own national education policy 2020 that also envisages of doing same thing, of practicing same thing, so that we can impart quality and research education for all. And the CBCS therefore is a skill based learning, and is an improved learning outcome can be achieved in a CBCS system. It's purely skill based. Whatever the student chooses, some sort of skill will be developed, some kind of skill will be developed, and therefore the learning outcome will be improved, will be better. The CBCS system redefines the learning approach and makes it more student centric. As I have already explained, it's more student centric. Flexible teaching learning system, it doesn't restrict to these number of courses, these number of practical subjects. It allows the mobility, it allows the flexibility, it allows the adaptability, it allows a lot of flexibility in terms of teaching learning. Students can choose from a list of elective core courses, soft skill courses that I will discuss in next slide. Evaluation is based on grading that further empowers the student, that further motivates the students, for getting and demonstrating good learning, good student learning outcome. As I have already explained in the first slide, generally 1 credit is computed as either 1 hours of class work plus 2 hours of homework. If it is a lecture, involving classroom, 1 hour for 1 credit. 3 credit means 3 hours in the lecture hall, and 6 hours as a homework. Student has to involve 3 threes are 9 hours, and for every hour he has to, or the student has to get certain number of credits, and that is, as I mentioned, 15 weeks generally. 15 to 16 weeks involvement will be there. Then the student will be earning 1 credit. So this is doing and earning, doing and getting rewarded. Whatever you do, whatever extent you involve in the lectures, in the homework, in assignment, in laboratory, accordingly you will get the certain number of credits. So what are the courses? As I mentioned, there are core courses, compulsory subjects or courses that meet the program's requirement, and these set of courses everyone has to opt. Then comes elective courses. Students have flexibility. Students can choose certain number of courses based on the credit requirement and related to core subject knowledge, and can choose from either core discipline related courses, elective courses, core discipline or core elective courses related to their core subjects, say computer science and engineering or economics. So core economics related electives will be there. Core electives related to economics or computer science, whichever is the program, accordingly students will choose. Generic or general elective, general subjects to improve general skills, general understanding, such as language courses, etc. Then project to gain experience and industry exposure. So these might be interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary approach where students will get the flexibility to learn and to gain experience of real world and the industrial exposure. Ability enhancement courses to gain additional skill sets such as programming, coding, etc., that will empower the students to become or to develop more competence and to become more or better employable. Skill enhancement courses related to life skills, lifelong learning skills, sports, arts, and all that. As we have been continuously saying that employability means knowledge, skill set, and values. So the courses that can add certain values, that can add some lifelong learning skills, that will help the learners, to be resilience, to be very strong and competent in practicing in the real time world. So those kind of courses students will be also are given the opportunity to choose. Then comes soft skill courses related to personality development, communication skill, writing skills, etiquettes, etc., comes under the soft skill courses. So as you can see that these are variety of courses like core courses, professional electives, core electives, general electives, skill-based electives, ability-based electives, where the students get a lot of opportunities and flexibilities to choose their own, courses of interest and can pursue, under the same program and can earn that required number of credits and complete the course successfully. So what are the features? Credit transfer scheme is there. The India has a multiple, input and multiple entry, multiple exit scheme where the student changes his institution, his university. The credits, whatever credits were earned in the previous institute or a previous program, can be transferred. Grading system, I have already explained. It minimizes the stigma. The students have to do these compulsory courses only. The students do not have flexibility of choosing their choices of their own. That that makes them stressed, that causes stigma in these students, and that is minimized in the credit based or choice based credit system. Students mobility, students can go from one program to other program, one university or other university, and the counting of credit is always there, which is not there in other schemes where the system is percentage based or other kind of schemes. And it improves the employability. I have explained thoroughly that how does it improve the employability. So we can also see this interesting picture, choice based credit system, where the choice enables the learners to pursue any knowledge domain area depending on the interest. Choice also widens the horizon of learners intellectual insight, and that too depending on or of their interest. The rigidity of present system does not allow the pursuit of areas of interest and widening the learner's education horizon. There must not be rigidity that no, these are the only set of courses which you are required to do for this particular program. So that is eliminated. Provision of choice is an essential condition for broad-based learners profile across the areas of knowledge. So how do we, grade it? As I mentioned in the previous slide, that there are letter based gradings, maybe O, maybe, used for outstanding, A plus excellent, very good A, and so on. Fail is a F grade, and there will be some grade points for every letter grade. So all these grade points are used in calculating CGPA of the student. So rather than giving the students as percentage in terms of performance, we evaluate in terms of grades. So all those students who are in certain range of scores will get A plus grade, and their grade point will be 9. And therefore I mentioned that this is learner centric. And I have already explained about the assessment that plays very important role in these kind of grading. Formative assessment at regular interval, formative assessment at continuous interval, and finally there will be some percentage of summative assessment that can be done at the end of the program. That may also include some feedback, some survey, and some component of assessment can also be included. So formative assessment, continuous assessment, grading system, credit transfer, flexibility, mobility, excellent learning horizon, improved employability are the major advantages of this CBCS system.